Poor girl with her baby tries to buy milk with her last coins. CEO behind her does something shocking. The air inside the small grocery store was warm and smelled faintly of bread and detergent. Outside, a winter wind howled through the streets of downtown Chicago, shaking the windows and sending shivers down the spines of those who dared walk in its path. Amelia clutched her 6-month-old daughter to her chest, her coat threadbare, her boots mismatched, and her eyes searching nervously around the store. She had just 87 cents in her hand, 3 quarters, a dime, and 2 pennies. That was all. She'd counted it twice before leaving the cold one-room apartment she could barely call home. The baby, Emma, whimpered softly in her blanket, her tiny face flushed and lips dry. Amelia knew she needed milk, anything, to fill her baby's stomach. The line at the register was long. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Amelia picked up a small carton of milk from the refrigerator shelf and held it close, praying it would be enough until her food stamps renewed next week. She got in line, her shoulders hunched, trying to shrink into herself. She knew people stared sometimes. She was young, obviously struggling, and alone. But today, she kept her focus on Emma and the warm milk she would warm on the stove later, if she could afford it. Behind her in line stood a tall man in a tailored navy coat, silver hair combed neatly back, and a phone pressed to his ear. His leather shoes gleamed under the harsh lighting, and a black luxury car key dangled from his fingers. This was Charles Whitman, CEO of a major tech firm downtown, though few recognized him out of context. To Amelia, he was just another well-dressed stranger waiting behind her. She clutched Emma tighter as the cashier scanned items for the person ahead. Every beep of the scanner sounded like a countdown. When it was finally her turn, Amelia stepped forward and placed the milk gently on the conveyor belt, her coins clenched tightly in her hand. The cashier, a tired-looking woman in her 50s, glanced at the milk, then at Amelia. "That'll be $1.09, she said. Amelia's heart sank. She opened her hand and slowly placed the coins on the counter. "I only have 87 cents, she whispered, avoiding eye contact. The cashier sighed, not unkindly, but firmly. "I'm sorry, honey, but that's not enough." Amelia stood frozen, feeling the weight of every eye in the line behind her. She looked down at Emma, who whimpered again, her face buried against Amelia's collarbone. The silence stretched. Her cheeks burned with shame. She was about to pick up the milk and apologize when a calm voice broke through. "I'll cover it." It was the man behind her, the CEO, though she didn't know it yet. He stepped forward and pulled a sleek wallet from his coat. "And ring up everything else she needs too," he added, to the cashier's astonishment. Amelia turned around, stunned. No, please, I can't accept that." But the man smiled softly. "You're not accepting charity. You're accepting kindness. There's a difference." Tears welled up in her eyes. Why would you do that?" He paused, his expression growing more serious. "Because I lost someone once. A long time ago. My sister. She was young. Just like you. She had a baby, and no one helped her. I've spent my whole life wishing someone had." The store had grown quiet. A few people in line were wiping at their eyes. The cashier rang up the milk, some baby formula, bread, and a few other essentials. The man paid without blinking and then handed Amelia a gift card, quietly slipping it into her diaper bag. "Use this next time," he said. "And keep going. You're doing something much harder than most people will ever understand." Amelia could barely speak. Her voice cracked as she said, "Thank you. I don't know how to repay you." "Just pay it forward," he said. "Someday, someone will need you." She nodded, cradling Emma close, the warmth of human decency settling over her like a blanket. She walked out into the cold, but for the first time in a long while, she didn't feel it. The man, Charles, stood silently for a moment, watching her go. He felt something shift inside him. Maybe it was peace, or perhaps it was the beginning of something new. He returned to his car and stared at the dashboard, the lights of the city blinking through his windshield. For a long time, he had been building things, companies, fortunes, power. But in that small grocery store, with a handful of coins and a carton of milk, he had remembered what really mattered. 2 months later, Amelia walked into a local community center that had just reopened its doors after a sudden, anonymous donation saved it from closure. She saw the new sign. Emma's Corner, a place for mothers and children. Inside, shelves of donated baby supplies, food, and books lined the walls. Volunteers smiled warmly as they welcomed her. There, on the main wall, was a framed quote. "Kindness is the investment that always returns more than it costs." Amelia smiled, tears stinging her eyes once more. She held Emma close, feeling the ripple of one man's act of compassion spread further than either of them could have imagined. And as she began volunteering there weekly, handing out diapers and meals to women just like her, Amelia knew one thing for certain. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness doesn't just change one life, it creates a legacy. Moral. In a world that often seems cold and indifferent, a single act of kindness, especially to a stranger, can be the spark that lights countless other lives. We never truly know the battles others are facing, but we always have the power to help. Compassion is not just generosity. It's humanity in its purest form.